Peace, 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 and salute. Salute, salute, salute to everyone. Um, Give me 1 second here. Let me just charge my little stuff. Make sure I'm set up properly. Make sure my charger is plugged in. All right. So I'm looking good on my end. Salute, salute, good people. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Can you guys hear me? Let's see who we got in the building, if we got some good family in the building. As I am straightening up my little settings here. Oh my goodness, yes, it looks like we got some good family making their way in slowly but surely. Salute everybody. Do I have an echo? Oh, I just heard saw my twin say you have an echo. Okay, that's interesting. How about now? How am I sounding now? Huh. An echo, that's interesting. Salute, salute to the good people. How am I sounding now, you guys? Because I may have to. You said the audio is good, but there is still an echo. Okay. Let me just go in here and see what the issue could be. That is very interesting. Output. Give me 1 second. I wonder if I should have this. How about now? How does this sound now, you guys? See, I'm not really a techie type of person. So give me a moment to kind of play with this stuff. How is it now? Just playing around with this to make sure. Okay, test. I sound like the Wiz? That's crazy, you guys. Okay, what about now? How about now? Is it okay? Test, 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 test. How am I sounding? Does it sound clear? Is there still an echo? Test, test, test. Hopefully that's okay. Put some nines in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. Is it still echoing? That's so bizarre. Oh my goodness. What is up, you guys? I wonder if that's like my output settings. Wow, that is interesting. Okay, give me 1 second to kind of figure this out. Because that certainly should not be happening. I wonder if I should be How about this? Is it clear? Test, test. Is it clear now? I'm like just dabbling through my computer settings here really quickly, like the sound settings on my Mac. How about now? I think I hit the wrong thing. I think it was like selected on the wrong thing. Let me know if there's still an echo, you guys. I think I had it set on the wrong thing because I was recording over the weekend and like producing some music. So I may have hit, and I had to set up my little MIDI, my little workstation and stuff like that. So I may have like, in order to set it up, needed to hit something, or maybe I did it by mistake. Please let me know if we are all good, you guys. I think I clicked something that kind of like may have reverted it back to where it should have been. It's still an echo? Wow, you guys. Okay, so I wonder if I should just go through this thing because I don't know if I need to be, oh, hold on. How about now? Is there still that echo? Okay, you guys, let's just go on. Is it distracting though? It sounds like I'm in a big room is what everyone is saying. Is it distracting? Like we won't be able to like get through this work? I have no idea what it is that I need to be clicking on here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, you guys. Okay, how about now, you guys? Is this good? Let me know if this is good. I may have had my output into something crazy. It's not that bad? Okay, since I don't know, okay, let me make sure though. Internal. Okay, I'm not doing that. Okay. Okay, you guys, hopefully that kind of fixed it. I had to kind of change my settings, like I said, over the weekend because I was doing some other stuff, like working on some other projects musically. So hopefully that's okay. I think it was just a matter of me choosing the correct like output and input and making sure everything was okay there. Big salute to you guys. Thank you so much for waiting. Sorry about that, you guys. Hopefully that's a little bit clearer. It's not awkward and that crazy echo sound that it was causing. Hopefully you guys are all well. Hopefully you guys can hear me pretty audibly. Hopefully everything is coherent. Let me go in and salute the good family. Thank you guys so much again. This is why I love my good family. You guys are like my soldiers. I appreciate you guys so much for your patience and of course for joining. Big love to everybody. Hold on, let me go to the top and do my salutations to the good family like I love to do. Let's see who we got in the building. Infinite blessings to my beautiful sis, Cammy Cam, in the building. She says, my beautiful sis and chat family driving and listening today. And she threw her nines up in the chat the way I love to see it. Infinite love to my beautiful sis. Hope everything is well with you, my love. Can't wait to chop it up with you soon. Infinite blessings, of course, to my twin. Hello, 10 toes on deck as usual. The lovely King Daryl, right? He says salute to the beautiful queen, AKA my twin Sugar Free, and salute to the rest of the kings and the queens in the chat. My twin is always 10 toes on deck with that love and that wonderful energy, that lion energy I'm talking about. Let's go, twin. Always lovely to see you and happy to see you. Oh my goodness, we got the King Copper in the building. Big blessings to the King Copper Aborigines in the building. It's so wonderful to see you. He says, salute, Sister SugarFreeMars. The date is fast approaching. The haters are out in full force against Big Brother Devin Haney. As usual, you already know what time it is, and we're going to cook a little bit on that, particularly today, King Copper. So just hold tight. We're definitely gonna cook on that. Yes, Daryl. Please let the people know. Get them nines all the way up. You know how I'm stepping, King. Yes, it's fight week. I'm excited. We are definitely going to touch into all of that. Oh, my Lord, the King and the Coach Hudson. My #1 comrade is in the building. Okay, we got to put all the respect, all the soul that we got on the King and the Coach Hudson's name. That's my comrade. Big, infinite love to you, King. He says, comrades, fall in salute to the queen of boxing media, my #1 comrade, the beautiful SugarFreeMars. Thank you so much, King, for that wonderful energy. It's always lovely to see you. We're going to cook today, Coach, because I know you're going to fill me on some stuff, right, on where we're about to go today. Infinite blessings to the village brother in the building. He says, salute, infinite blessings, and big salute to you as well. We got the King D, 21519 on deck. He says, salute to the Queen SugarFreeMars. Big blessings to you, King. Infinite love. Yes, I see you. Oh my goodness, the King Jose, nice to see you. He says, hope everybody's doing great. I can hear you 100% perfect. I'm glad. Thank you so much. I was tripping. I was like, what the hell? I hope I didn't goddamn go, clicking something or broke something. Oh, child, please. No, not today. I can't have that today. So I'm glad I was able to figure it out. Took me a moment, but I'm glad that you guys were able to bear with me on that. Infinite blessings to my good brother, the King, Mark Wunderlich, also in the building. He says, touch that like button, hashtag LDBC, hashtag Bomb Squad, hashtag Team Petty. You already know we 10 toes on deck, King. Lovely to see you as always. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness, I see y'all talking about how I sound like the Wiz. Y'all ain't no goddamn good, y'all. What? Infinite blessings to the King. Wagwan reaction in the building. He says, peace to the Queen. You sound like you're in an empty room. You know what, y'all? Listen, only because y'all my family, I'll let y'all rag on me like that. You feel me? The coach says that we are good. Okay, I just scrolled up a little bit, you guys, just to see what time it was. Everybody's giving me the okay that I sound much more audible, which I'm glad to hear about. Infinite blessings to my beautiful sister Tay, my Leo sis in the building. She says, SugarFreeMars, hey, my Leo sis. My New York BK sis, Strong Island. Okay, you already know what time it is, New York energy all day. You already know how we stepping over here, son. Yeah, that's how we do. We do big things. Infinite blessings to my sis. You know what, D? You know what? I'm going to let you slide with that one, okay? Because y'all really, really going in. I'm like, thank you for your patience, you guys. And that's fake love y'all giving me this whole time. Y'all like, this girl sound like the goddamn Wiz. Now I got D telling me I sound like I'm in a goddamn bathroom. Child, y'all ain't no good. I thought we had much more love for each other than that, D. Salute to my family. Salute. Yes, so infinite blessings to the good people. I just wanted to scroll in to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I want to salute the good family. Salute to Aliko in the building. He says, salute to the Queen SugarFreeMars. Thank you, King. Oh my goodness, my good brother, the real Shelton, is in the building. Peace and infinite blessings to you as well. Thank you so much for joining. Here he go, the King, Snoopy, Matt on deck. Infinite blessings to you. He says, Miss Queen Sugar Free, Queen Sugar. Okay, I like that. Salute to the King Snoop in the building with that wonderful energy as usual. We have somebody named Yo21. He says, what are you kings and queens of exactly? Of life, of greatness, of excellence. Hopefully that answered your question. Yes, good people. Yes, King Shownuff. Did I say salute to you? Hopefully I did. Okay, we have somebody named Damon in the building. Peace to you with your rose. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, good family. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it. Let's get to this. Let's get to this cook. Let's get to this chopping real quick. Now, oh, did he? Okay, because I wasn't on I was on my StreamYard, so I didn't see. Okay, yes, I see it here on the YouTube side. Okay, let's get to this, you guys. Salute to the King DP. I see you in the building. The fuck promotions on deck. You already know how we stepping. Salute to the King DP and infinite blessings to Cool Breeze. I see you. Salute to you as well. Thank you guys so much for popping in. I always appreciate your energy and your presence. Hopefully you guys had a good week. I know we're about to have a hell of a goddamn week this coming week. You feel me? What? And that is because, of course, it is officially fight week. It is Debo fight week, y'all. This ain't just regular ass fight week. This is big Debo fight week. You feel me? You heard? I am so excited for this fight week, you guys. Oh my goodness, hold on. I gotta salute the King, Mr. G Road in the building. Big blessings to you, King. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. He says, peace and blessings, beloved. You already know what time it is, King. Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate you. Yes, you guys. It is Debo Fight Week, y'all. I am super excited. I cannot wait for the showing that we are going to see this week, you guys. It's almost a little bit surreal that we have officially entered into fight week. Like, oh my God. Like, it's crazy because it feels like for the past, let's say 3 months or so, like when we officially got, you know, the confirmation that everything was going, it feels like we had been riding in a sort of like a fast lane a little bit to this fight, but at the same time, I feel like it was pacing itself, right? Because we had other fights that were in the works, right? We have the Crawford fight. We have had some other fights between, I want to say June up until now, of course. And so even though it seemed like it came fast, it really was a pacing and a pulsating that was happening, a slow wave that, you know, we were walking into as far as this fight, so that now that it's here, it's a little bit surreal, right? Am I the only one that kind of feels like that? It's like, damn, this is it, y'all. No more talking, no more nothing. Like, we are here. This is it. And I'm so glad, you know, to be in the front seat, ready, you know, in full anticipation, you know, to witness wonderful boxing. That's what it is that I'm anticipating. A wonderful showing of skill, of grit, of Black American excellence. Talk to me nice, y'all. What? Talk to me nice. I cannot wait for this fight. I can't say that enough. This is, as you guys know, I have said this time and time again, for me, as I'm sure many of you can agree as well, this is the biggest fight card of the year. That is what we are waiting for. That is what we will get come Saturday, November 22nd, you guys. It has arrived. Do you hear me? We have arrived, you guys. I am so fervent, so excited, and so ready for this Saturday. And I think that so much is on the table to be had with this particular fight between these two young brothers, right? I think this is going to be a fight, of course, for supremacy, right? I think it's going to be a fight for, you know, status and the acclaim and everything else. But I really think that this is going to be a fight of stature and prominence, and to see who is deserving in the boxing world, because I really do feel like this fight stands to show and prove and set up a lot of what it is that's going to be in store in the coming years, right? In the coming year, 2 years. I think that the establishment that's going to be made and had with this card, with this particular card, is going to set the tone, because a lot of people are going to be set apart. And I think because everybody is a heavy hitter on here, you know, it really is going to allow for a showing to be had, but with an exclamation point. A lot of questions that have been lingering are going to be answered, because real talk, for much of this card, you know, the challenge is real. You know what I mean? And what is on the line and hanging in the balance is also very real. Okay? So that these men are going into a war that stands to make them. They have to pass through fire. They have to get through this. They have to get through this in a way that's going to crown them properly. It isn't going to be enough simply to just pass, some colloquial, conversational, conjured up, mystified level of conjecture around what we suppose of these men. No, it's going to be answered. I think that's what this fight stands to provide and to prove for each of the warriors that are participating on this card, right? So with that said, I think that the victor of this particular fight with Brian Norman, with the young King Devin, right? I think that's going to allow for the victor to lead and single-handedly, as far as this fight is concerned, carry the welterweight division forward. As we know, welterweight is a glorious division. It is referred to as one of the premier, the glory divisions in all of boxing, right? And so we need somebody at the helm of that, so that even though Brian Norman, of course, assumed that particular position, I guess, of being what a lot of people would consider the top #1 fighter, most, how would I say it? Believable, right? He has assumed that, with a lot of people giving him the accreditation coming off of the victory back in June and stuff like that. Of course, after Boots moved on, ventured into 154 territory, it is Brian Norman that has assumed that place, assumed that position. A lot of people are looking at him as the heavy hitter, the top dog now. And he is going to have to fight to certify that spot, because after Boots left, he was pretty much moved into that seat. Is he going to be able to prove to the world that he belongs there? Or is Devin Haney, upon his first fight, right, upon his first entry into officially fighting at 147 come Saturday, is he going to be able to supersede any of the mystification or supposed mystification that has been around Brian Norman? And is he going to prove, listen, this is my time, this is my turf, this is the Devin Haney era, right? The dream is realized. Is he going to be able to prove that on Saturday? It's a wonderful story that's going on, a wonderful back and forth, and it's got people galvanized in all directions, right? You got from one extreme to the next, and I think everybody's engagement level and investment mentally and emotionally with this fight is one of the driving factors, that has us all on the edge of our seat, because I think above all, everybody is waiting to see who will be not only crowned king, but who will take the crown? Who is going to take that? It's wonderful stuff, you guys. You know what I mean? And I think that even beyond carrying the welterweight division forward, as far as the victor is concerned, I think that they also stand to, gain a level of prominence in all of the sport, not only as far as the welterweight division goes, but the top dog will be, absolutely heralded and undeniable, right? So we've heard a lot of talk, a lot of banter and conjecture in the months leading up to this particular moment, right? We heard a lot of sides. Like I said, people are galvanized from one extreme to the next, but they are all incited the same, right? We've heard a lot of talk from both parties, both teams, both camps, fans, media, all these types of things. And I think that what's wonderful to me about entering officially into this fight week is that it's great to feel the weight of finality finally enter the building. We are no longer talking hypothetically. We are no longer on the back seat of, okay, well, in 8 weeks, we're going to see what happens. In 6 weeks, we're going to see what happens. No, we have entered finality. We are within days of seeing this fight live and in front of us. And I like the pressure that brings, right? That this is no longer us speculating, that they will show and prove exactly what it is that we all have in our minds as far as questions. And I just like the finality of it. no longer is there, a leniency, so to speak, right? No more leniency is being allotted when it comes to things like wiggle room, preparation. There's no more leniency for that. It's like, it's do or die right now. No reservations, nothing. The time is now. We are on our way to the battlefield, ladies and gentlemen. That's where I like to be, right in the center of that heat. So now, you guys, in sitting back in observation over, let's say, the past several weeks, right? And particularly, of course, since we last spoke over the last week, right? Since we last convened, I have been observing some interesting things, you guys. Very, very interesting things. And I think it's quite probable to say at this point, probably more so than not, at least in my view, y'all let me know how y'all feel, but it's quite probable to me. Oh my goodness, here he is. Yes, beautiful king. I get excited when I see the beautiful king enter the building. Salute to my beautiful king, BFTB. Infinite love to you, king. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you so much. Yes, gotta love the king, BFTB. Yes, so it's definitely quite probable for me, good people, that the Normans out here acting like a bunch of deer in headlights. Is it just me, or am I onto something? Have y'all been peeping the energy of the landscape lately, you guys? I know that you have. I know that you have, right? It's looking like the damn Team Norman have been operating and moving like a bunch of deer in headlights, even though what they are trying to put forth is looking like a level of posture, of bravado, you know what I mean, of things like that. But what is translating to me is, I don't know what to call it. I can't say it's reticence or something like that, because they are posturing as though they are ready to show and shock the world, right? But underneath that, there seems to be the opposite energy being translated to me, for the reason why I put it in the term deer in headlights a little bit. Something about this ain't looking too ready somewhere in here. Am I tripping? And it really has me pushing on the notion, when I see this type of deer in headlights energy, it has me pushing on has me wanting at least to push on the notion that, I'm sure that you guys have heard all over the place, that has been going around and really stemming back since the past year, or really year and a half since the Ryan Garcia fight, right? It has me want to push back on the notion of the sense of fearlessness, or I should say fearfulness, excuse me. The sense of fearfulness that people in the boxing world, for whatever reason, desperately want to surmise about the young King Devin. And this notion is one that suggests that Devin is afraid to fight the Normans, right? And a lot of this is, some lore that Norman Sr. has been going channel hopping, back-to-back nonstop, pushing. Oh, they don't want to fight me, you see. They didn't want to fight us. They were kind of cornered into taking this fight, this, that, and the third. I'm sure you guys are privy to a lot of the narratives that have been spun by Team Norman, right? Devin didn't really want to do it. He just ended up here kind of because he was pushed to the edge and had no choice but to face us, which is absurd on every conceivable level, right? So that they want to push a fearfulness, supposedly, about Dev. But to me, in actuality, it isn't a far speculation for me to pose, when looking at how Team Norman has been moving out here, that it is really them who may have a level of fearfulness, right? And if it's not fear, right? Because I know that they are fighters and this is what they do, right? But there is an underlying energy that is telling me that they are not ready. I don't know if I'm the only one that is picking up on that, but things are looking a little bit weird to me. Like, it's like when you zoom in on the seams and you start to see that the seams are kind of like unhinged and undone a little bit, where looking back from afar, you didn't really notice that some strings were hanging out. That's what it's looking like to me when I analyze and do a closer inspection, when I go into a closer reconnaissance. You feel me? It's interesting to me, you guys. Like, no cap. It seems to me that a big part of what makes me feel this way, beautiful people, is that, it's looking like it's reached a point where Team Norman has a self-induced delusion that they have created around themselves. That's part and parcel of what is making me kind of deduce this. There is a self-induced delusion that they have created and that they have been generating to the public, wanting to convince themselves of and wanting to convince the masses who will listen to them of as well, right? The things that I have been hearing and witnessing from Team Norman have been absolutely baffling and wild to me, to say the least. Have you guys been keeping up with their channel hopping? Now, I don't follow any of the channels that they go visit, none of them, right? I stick with my ones. But like I told you, I believe on a previous live, when I follow people on Twitter, people post, little clips and things like that. And so I get the residual of that, right? It kind of permeates down to me because I follow a particular person who happens to have shared this or that or the third, right? And so when I watch these things, or if it's shared with me or something like that, like, hey, have you seen this? I'm like, what is going on here? Have you guys been keeping up with what these people have been doing on social media, beautiful people? Apparently, these men, Team Norman, have convinced themselves into believing and buying into their own lore about the young King Devin and what it is that they will actually be facing on November 22nd. I think that they are convincing themselves that what they are going to meet in the ring is other than the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Like, they are trying to debase and devalue everything that Devin Haney brings to the table. And I don't know if it's because this is their way of trying to cope with the level of pressure that they may find to be insurmountable in some way. I have no idea, beautiful people. But for whatever reason, this is what's going on. This is what I find to be happening. At least that's what it appears to be to me from the outside looking in, right? Now, for whatever reason, Norman Sr.'s latest published delusional rant, entailed him, one of the rants that he went on, included him, running his ass up in the goddamn DMs of motherfucking Bill Haney. He just running up and DMing a storm. Bill Haney, out of goddamn nowhere, you guys. Is this man okay? I mean, he's just looking unhinged to me. It's looking very unhinged. The seams seem to be coming undone, right? I just don't know what's going on. It's like amid a host of all these other wild rabbit tirades that we see him go on, from interview to interview or whatever he's doing on his own social media page and stuff like that. In addition to all of this, you guys, this man is up here in Bill Haney's goddamn DMs talking about suspicions and accusations that he has of DHP motherfucking photoshopping their images of Devin? Is this man for real, you guys? I mean, of course, there was a whole bunch of other things said, right? That some people were passing around on social media, little snapshots and things like that, that Bill has shared, whatever, on his social media. What is going on? Why was this man writing motherfucking novels to Bill Haney in the DMs, y'all? If that's not unhinged, I don't know what the fuck is, y'all. Real talk. Like, I gotta keep it a buck about that. Why are you in another grown man's DMs writing motherfucking love letters like this? It's just weird to me, you guys. Is this man Senior okay? I need somebody to do a wellness check because Senior is looking senile out this bitch. The fuck? No man should be in another grown man's DMs that thoroughly. Motherfucker, you want to send a quick message or something like that? Hey, I'm gonna kick your son's ass, what I'm saying? Be ready and move on out. That's fine, right? Talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? I know that this is the game. We are in battle, right? And so I know that you are liable to talk your shit. That's what you are supposed to do when you are gearing up for battle. Yeah, you tell your opponent that they ain't nothing like you, right? And they're gonna have to deal with some heat and all that pressure. Talk your shit. But you are writing, vehemently to another goddamn grown man that you should be preparing to destroy. What? It's just showing that he is on your mind in a way that is convoluting, right? And not only that, brothers and sisters, that's the best that this man could think of to tell Bill Haney is that they are photoshopping images of Devin. That's the best he could think of. And what's crazy about that, you guys, besides, of course, everything that we can think of, but what's also crazy that I had to point out here is, you're saying that this man is photoshopping or DHP or these people are liable to Photoshop all of the image that they put out and have put out up until this point of Devin, as if we have not watched Devin hard at work in his footage that he had released here and there in the gym, grinding, has shared that type of footage on his Instagram here and there and of course social media in the leading up to the fight and stuff like that, as if we haven't seen that. Not to mention, we just witnessed Young King over the past week or two, looking in phenomenal shape, in person, live and in person, doing the media goddamn workout in real time. What the fuck? What you talk about Photoshop, sir? So let me get this straight. Did the Haneys did they create a simulated video of Devin Haney working out on the pads? Was that AI or something? Like we didn't just watch this man at a live goddamn media workout. You talk about some damn Photoshop? I'm astounded, y'all. Like, as I'm sitting here, I'm really processing this shit. Like, this man said Photoshop. Like, this man went to the lengths to say, oh, you out here Photoshopping your images. Why are you worried? Okay, so what that also tells me is that, you are quite concerned about the physical condition and the physical shape that Devin is in. That Devin is obviously in. Are you worried? People tend to say a lot of things inadvertently. Like when they make statements, like they think it's concretized, but it's not. It winds up bleeding into the reality of what they really mean underneath the statement itself, right? So they seem to be speaking two things at one time. They have the thing that they want to promote to you and sell to you, and then there's the reality. I see clearly what the reality is screaming. Ain't that crazy, you guys? So that you are telling me, damn, Devin looks fucking phenomenal, right? This man looked healthy. He looked in shape. He's obviously wearing and carrying this new welterweight physique to the T. I'm worried, y'all. That's what that's saying to me. Why would you even be commenting on the appearance of this man? Has anybody ever heard Bill Haney or what's his name make a statement recently about how Devin's conditioning is going or how he's looking? Of course you have not, because they don't give a damn. The only thing that they're thinking about is dominating him. I don't give a damn what that man looked like on fight night. He is food, period. You understand? I was astounded, you guys. Photoshop was the best that he could think of. And the fact that he was even thinking, that they would try to augment or to enhance how Devin Haney is looking, artificially, just tells me that you think he looks really, really good. Pause, right? Or it has you worried to some degree or another how fantastic and how much in shape he actually is. I'm like, what kind of sassy speculation is that? You photoshopping your pictures of Devin. What? I don't get it, you guys. And I could not help but notice an absolute desperation in that statement, real talk. Because it's like this man is doing his damnedest to convince himself, that Devin Haney needs to somehow put on airs or something like that. Devin has to put on airs. He has to pump fake, how he looks, which is crazy to me because it's like, since when has the young king ever needed to pump fake about the condition he's showing up to a fight in? Never. What? This is a fucking fight, nigga. Yes, I'm in shape. Yes, I'm getting ready. Yes, I'm doing the hard work. Yes, I'm dedicated. It's going to show up in my physique, just as it has throughout my entire career. It's just that the difference now is that I'm in, a weight class that's more natural to my natural stature, right? I'm not gonna put on no goddamn airs for you. The fuck I look like Photoshop? What kind of sassy shit is that? Nigga talk about, oh, you put a filter on your images. Like he trying to be some bad bitch. What? It's diabolical to me, you guys. I just have to sit back, throughout the previous week and just really just chuckle. Like, is this man really serious? I think Senior is senile. Senior done gone senile, y'all. The shit is absolutely hilarious to me. You know what I mean? And I was laughing because I'm like, I guess Team Norman is trying to maybe approach this fight like they're about to rematch Hakisaki or something like that. Because maybe Hakisaki didn't give a damn about what condition he showed up in. He did, he don't have no type of physique or nothing like that, right? Hakisaki didn't look nothing spectacular, right? And maybe none of the other goddamn washed up ass fighters that they faced previously, right? Maybe none of them gave a damn about their physique, so that now that Devin is showing up in all of his glory, they're trying to replace the reality of what Devin is, showing up healthy, showing up in shape, with oh no, he's lying about how fit he is. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. But apparently they're trying to cope. All right, this is a way for them to gear up for the ass whooping that is definitely coming hot off the stove for their asses. Maybe that's what it is. It has them all mentally discombobulated or something like that. Maybe them niggas in the past didn't look prepared to fight. But this is Debo Dev in the building, y'all. Yeah, that's who y'all about to face on Saturday. This is different over here. Yeah, it's different. You got an elite warrior in front of you. That's what he's supposed to look like. What's popping? You know what I mean? It's just a level of intimidation that I find to be very telling, even in the things that they are trying not to say. It is all over the place. Crazy, crazy funny that he was in Bill's DMs with that. And let's just deal with something for a minute, you guys. Let's deal with something for a minute. Let's gauge with the reality in it of itself of how Norman was even in Bill's DMs in the first place. How was this man goddamn typing 1,000 miles a minute with his pinkies up to Bill in a DM, saying some sassy ass, wild ass, crazy ass, pointless ass shit? Why are you writing novels to that man like that? I just cannot stop asking that question. I mean, at that point that the what's his name was sent, you know what I mean? At the point that the DMs were sent, at that point they were like, let's say a week removed from the fight, because that may have been sometime last week, right? From what I gather. You're a week removed from the fight at that particular point where he's in the DMs, heavy, stalkingly. Shouldn't he have been concentrating on his son, I don't know, making weight? Wouldn't he have been spending his time better in ensuring his son was making weight or something like that, right? Instead of goddamn typing Bill, shouldn't his ass have been on a goddamn plane instead of waiting so goddamn long to show up in Saudi Arabia? You should have been motherfucking booking a flight the way your ass was typing. You could have been to Saudi at least 2-3 days before you came. But you over here goddamn typing Bill in the damn DMs, you guys. What did you I don't know, rather be training your son? The fuck you doing typing Bill Haney? Don't you got some training to do, nigga? What is going on here? Doing things like crossing T's and, I don't know, dotting I's instead of literally crossing T's in messages to send to Bill. That shit was wild to me, you guys. I could not wrap my mind around that at all. Why are you typing Bill like some goddamn drunk ass lover? That's like drunk texting or something like that. You want to drunk text Bill Haney on the DMs. Like, you know what I mean? Like the motherfucker who's denying you, that don't want you no more, you finding yourself goddamn texting endlessly to a motherfucker who don't want to give you the time of day. That's what that looked like to me. Like just lines and lines and lines and lines of notations from this man. I was astounded by the extensive letters that this motherfucker was passing to Bill Haney in the DMs. Absolutely diabolical. And none of it was worth a damn, which is crazy. Because, you know, what is there to say to that extent? I just don't know. I think that he would have been better spending his time, you know, figuring out a plan B on how, you know, he gonna get, you know, back home on Sunday morning from the ass whooping that's coming. That would have been, you know, plan a nice long vacation, you know, to get your mind right and to figure out, you know, how you're gonna bounce back from the L that's coming on November 22nd. You would have been much more, you know, productive doing that. Okay, now it's just diabolical, you guys. So busy focused on the senselessness that, you know, this is exactly why, if you guys haven't seen, you know, focusing so much on goddamn Bill Haney is the reason why these motherfuckers was shown yesterday working out in a goddamn parking lot. See, if he wasn't caught up typing goddamn Bill Haney, maybe he could have motherfucking booked the gym and figured out the operating hours of the gym that he was working in the parking lot of yesterday. Facts or no? You know what I mean? You could have been spending your time actually finding out the operating hours of that gym so that you wouldn't have to be in no goddamn parking lot in the wee hours of the goddamn morning or whatever time you found yourselves out there working out. Why weren't you guys working out in the gym? You know how ghetto that shit looked and unprepared and unprofessional? Got your son out here jump roping in a goddamn parking lot? What? Y'all out here jumping rope next to people loading up their car seat for the kids? Motherfuckers trying to back out with their motherfucking groceries? And here you go jumping rope? Excuse me, sir, what is going on? What is going on? Why are you in the parking lot, sir? All that talking and typing that you were DMing to Bill left and right had your ass forgetting to ensure that you actually had a training facility to conduct your training in. It's just wild to me, you guys. Oh, you know, they didn't open yet. Yeah, they did. You know, we here early, they didn't even open yet and stuff like that. Really? Well, maybe you should have fucking called in to find, you know, what time they open and what time they close. So you're not out here looking crazy and reckless as hell. This is crazy. You got motherfuckers rolling up with their whip trying to get into a parking spot. You over here jumping rope, having to move out the way before your ass get ran over and backed into. What? It's just, this is the sense of, unfitness that I was talking about earlier. There is an unreadiness. There is, the seams have been broken. There is some, an unhinged, unfinished quality that is going on here that's leading me to believe that these people just have an unreadiness that is just wild, and nobody is fucking paying attention to it really like that. Not these fanboys, at least. Of course, my beautiful brothers and sisters, the conscious people, wherever they may be in the community, may be, paying attention to this, right? It's just crazy to me. There is no way that they should be operating so unprofessionally. Everything from them showing up late to Saudi, to the parking lot, to the motherfucking, late night goddamn DMs and love notes. I don't like what I'm seeing, you guys. I don't like what I'm seeing. And I'm saying I don't like what I'm seeing because I want readiness. I don't want to play when it's time to go to war. I want war. I don't want no type of sparing ass energy. You talk all that big shit. I want to see you get it popping. I want to see you prove everything that you said. You have to back up everything that you said. Everything. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see no goddamn half-ass goddamn attempt. Oh, maybe if I would have got to Saudi, I didn't rest enough, or I didn't. That's why you should have motherfucking got to Saudi earlier, bro. Oh, maybe if you had better training, maybe your ass should have not been in the motherfucking parking lot. It's things like this. That's like, don't take away from my joy and my excitement for this fight because you want to be out here lackadaisical and half-ass. Clean the shit up. Like, they need to tighten up. These areas are looking like they need hella tightening to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I am fully invested as a boxing enthusiast. Why aren't you 10,000 toes? I can't be more 10 toes than you. I want to see some readiness. I want to see some alacrity. Because I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses from their side. You know what I mean? So, real talk, you guys, you know, there have been real signs, just overall, that speak to the level of unpreparedness, you know, that a lot of people may not have been willing to accept or willing to believe. And that is one of them. But amid that, another huge example of this perspective, ladies and gentlemen, to me, was, like I said, how delayed they were arriving in Saudi. That's not something that I could overlook, right? I think that these people, you know, are just ill-prepared, and it had me very, very, very much in question. You mean to tell me that you were just getting there last week? Can somebody tell me what purpose these people thought that they were serving? Is this, you know, did they think that they were like, I don't know, stunting or something like that? I don't know what would cause them to have made that move, to wait so long, to leave, and to be leaving so close to the fight. What was it, like 7 days? Didn't they leave maybe something like last Friday or Saturday, something like that? What are you doing 7-10 days removed from the biggest fight of your motherfucking life and career? Are these people aware that there is something called an acclimation period, brothers and sisters? An acclimation period where your body needs to undergo acclimatizing, so to speak, right? In order to adjust to the environment, in order to be able to have their bodies operate within that new environment. Are they aware of that? They must be. They must be, right? Especially on this type of level. Saudi's time difference, brothers and sisters, in and of itself needs adjusting to. You are in a completely different terrain with completely different air, completely different sun, completely different height, okay? Air pressure. All of these things are different on your body. You have not been to Saudi Arabia. Your body has not been there. Your body needs to adjust. Not only are you going there, but you're going to have to perform at your highest level in that environment that is completely new to you, sir. What the fuck is going on? Am I tripping or not? You know what I'm saying? You're going to be fighting in the highest level that you have ever fought on. And you are going to have to do that in the twilight hours over there on Saturday. You are not fighting at 8 p.m. in Saudi Arabia. They're going to be fighting something like goddamn 2, 3 in the morning or something like that. Something near to that. Are they getting rested? Did they factor in rest? I just, this is the unpreparedness, the unreadiness that I am talking about, you guys. And I really wanted to draw the microscope in on this issue. They should have been taking that into account and preparing around the Saudi timetable and climate and their climatization around that in an effort to get used to it for an extended period of time, or for as extended a period of time as possible, so that they could be nearest to their optimal performance output. Do you understand? Training at certain hours, for example, to get acclimated to having to fight that late or depending on how you see it, that early, because like I said, it's the wee hours of the morning. You got to get your body used to that, right? Your sleep patterns aren't adjusted to that, right? You have to create renderings in your training that are going to allow for the replicating of the actual conditions that you're going to be fighting within come Saturday, so that it isn't foreign to your body or to the body of your team, because they got to be up with you. Your corner has to get adjusted to that, because if they motherfucking tired, how are they going to be able to guide you? So that everybody, the whole team, has an acclimation period that they need to undergo. Were they thinking about this, ladies and gentlemen? You understand? Not to mention, like I said earlier, the weather conditions and the environment as a whole takes an effect on the body that needs adjusting to, right? And there's also the matter of the journey to Saudi Arabia itself that has had to be considered. You're going to be tired from that long-ass goddamn flight, right? So that your mind and body both need recovery, thorough recovery, in addition to the training, in addition to the everything else, right? There are myriad things, in other words, brothers and sisters, that your mind and body need to get acclimated to, right? So this is the unpreparedness, that sense of underpreparedness that I am speaking of once again, right? Getting to your fight destination, ladies and gentlemen, 10 days away from a fight that stands to be the biggest night of your life is crazy, especially when you're in a completely foreign territory, foreign country. Okay? It goes without saying that the young King Devin already had been there, already had been on the ground 10 toes, working, grinding, training, resting, and making his adjustments, because he is professional, right? This is what he does, so that he knew already to go beforehand to take care of that and to make so that his body and mentality can make all of the adjustments needed so that he could be at his most optimal, right? So that Devin was already on it. DHP, his whole team was already on that. No question about it. So that there is a sense of novelty that is going on. There is a novice energy that is going on there that I am witnessing, that is absolutely, exemplifying a level of unreadiness that I just don't know. That is having me question, how that unreadiness is going to also show up in the ring. You know what I mean? Because outside of the ring, it's absolutely unhinged. It's absolutely undone outside of the ring. So that can I expect that within the ring come Saturday night, there's also going to be that level of unreadiness showing up. That's what it has me looking at, the totality of that, right? Very interesting stuff, you guys, that I have been looking at, engaging with, and processing, right? Crazy work when I look at that. Now, after hearing all of that, now put in the image in your mind of these motherfuckers, in addition to all of that, working out in a parking lot, jumping rope in a motherfucking parking lot. What is this? What is this, you guys? Now you motherfuckers are also out here jumping, a rope in the parking lot? How are these people equipping themselves, ladies and gentlemen? It's looking like an absolute mess out here, you guys. I can't front. I cannot front. Let me take a quick pause there and engage with you guys really quickly. I need to see y'all thoughts on this. It's looking crazy to me, you guys. Crazy. Salute to the brothers and sisters who came in. I scrolled a ways up just to see. Oh my goodness, salute to the beautiful sister Bella Faith in the building. Salute to you, sis. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Exactly, twin. In Bill Haney's DMs like a scorned biatch. Just writing and writing, right? Looking for an answer. Why you ain't writing me that? Why you ain't writing me that? Where you at? Just saying all types of crazy stuff to get this man's attention. That's exactly what it's like, twin. What is going on? Yes, Aliko. Full paragraphs. That man wrote a whole novel. He wrote a goddamn memoir. He wrote some goddamn love letters. Motherfucker wrote a poem and a song out that bitch and hit the send button to Bill Haney. Ain't that crazy? Absolutely crazy. Oh, we have somebody in the building named Daryl Big Galloway. Salute to you. Peace to you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. It's crazy to me. Yes, twin. Scorn baby mama energy at its finest. At its finest. Yeah. The King Snoop says, did you get my call? Did you get my love letter? Facts. Did you get my text? Are you coming to see me? Why you answer your phone? Where you at? Who you going out with? Excuse me, sir? I don't do this. I don't do this. No. I'm gonna have to block your ass ASAP. That's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I guess so. Beautiful sis. He may think that that's an attempt. I guess some kind of weird toxic ass attempt to think he's gonna get in Bill Haney's head. Bill Haney is true to this. He's not new to this. Okay, your goddamn DMs is not getting in anybody's way but his own, because he could have been spending that time making sure that motherfucking gym was open so that he wouldn't have to be worried about moving to the side when somebody's trying to back their goddamn car up to park in that damn parking garage. Crazy work to me, you guys. Salute to the king, Musa, in the building. He says, peace, goddess. Peace to you, king. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Yeah, Devo, salute to you. He says, as the fight gets closer, I'm noticing people leaning towards Devin by decision. Reality is settling in. Facts, gang. I mean, if you have a level of cognizance and you are, you consider yourself an enthusiast, the judgment call is pretty evident to me. It's pretty evident to me. Salute to the king Uncommon in the building. He says, salute to the warrior queen, SugarFreeMars. Smash the like button in the chat. Yes, you guys, definitely smash the like button. I tend to forget to say that, so salute and shout out to the good family who always remind me. Definitely hit the like button, smash the like button, show love to the channel. Don't be afraid to, share the content. Don't be afraid to hit the super chat, show love to the work that, we are doing over here. I appreciate the support, you guys, very, very much. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just scrolling through. Oh, salute to the king, Eric. I see you, king. Infinite blessings to you. Thank you for joining. Oh my God, the village brother says, senior saying Devin is body fishing. Ain't that wild? Ain't that wild? Yes, beautiful king. Hella sus. Hella sus indeed. It's crazy work to me. Crazy work. Okay, so I scrolled up. Now let me come down. Let me come down to see. Salute to you. I see you. Salute. All right, you guys. So I just wanted to brush past checking with the good family. Hold on. All right, so let's see where I wanted to take off. Now, it's just been diabolical to me, you guys. No cap. It's looking shaky. It's looking ghetto as hell. The production is not looking like a production at all. It's looking not productive at all. I don't know what they got going on Team Norman's side, but it's just a bizarre showing so far. You guys have been keeping up with it. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. It's just looking hella weird out here on their part. And the lapsadaisical energy is being exhibited, most of all in the mentality of Team Norman through and through, right? And so we have these little examples, right? But then it's really showcasing a larger unreadiness within the mentality of their team or whatever it is that they have going on, right? So that, this is also what I have been engaging with in my observation and seeing how they are displaying themselves, seeing the energy surrounding their moods and stuff like that, how it is coming across. And not only there seems to also already be in place. Did you guys notice this? There seems to, I mean, you really just can't make this stuff up, you guys. There is an already built-in, ready-made excuse that is in place right now, you guys. A working excuse that these people seem to be willing to use that will shield them from any level of responsibility, let's say, should they not come out victoriously on Saturday. Did you guys peep that? Did you guys peep the inner seams of the excuse that these people try to casually put out there and covertly put out there, an excuse, a ready-made excuse that they're going to hide behind if they don't win on Saturday against Dev. Did you guys think that? Have you guys seen that clip of Senior, on one of his endless chatty patty ass interview tours that he loves doing so much? I don't know what channel or platform that he was on. I just happened to cross the clip. Did you guys see that? Right? Where he is talking about, I guess, all of a sudden, having a suspicion or a fear of being poisoned or something like that. Did you see that? That some type of foul play is being embarked upon on the part of Saudi Arabia, on the part of Turkey, on the part of Devin. I don't know who the fuck he's accusing. I guess all of them, and everything he's accusing them of, all of the above. That said that now he is saying that some type of conspiring is happening behind the scenes that they have to prepare for mentally to deal with, because that is a possibility. Did you guys come across that, you guys? How crazy was that? Absolutely diabolical work. This man, in addition to all of the other, superfluous, unavailing things that he has been saying nonstop and doing nonstop, right? Just all types of recklessness everywhere. Now he is also, in addition to all of that folly, he is also coming out with speculations, insinuating and low-key accusing the Saudi establishment of possibly being liable to cheat he and his son out of a fight by way of going to the extent of poisoning them or somehow endangering their wellness? What? Do you guys know what would happen if Devin Haney for a moment postured something so absurd? What do you guys think would happen to the young king? If for a moment he postured, that Brian, team Brian Norman, are going to be conspiring. So, just imagine if he even wasted 1 second or half a second on saying anything remotely close to something that can come across as making an excuse or looking for an out somewhere that would suggest that, people are conspiring to get him or something like that. You think these people would just, just never mind that statement and just blow past it like it wasn't mentioned at all? Absolutely not is the goddamn answer, ladies and gentlemen. How the fuck is this man allowed to say something like that so crazy? And nobody put a foot in this man's ass about that. Are you kidding me? Like I said, I like the art of war, and I know what comes with that, right? It comes with all types of pressure and all types of sides saying everything that they can imagine, right? You gotta boast yourself up, you know what I mean? You gotta know what type of business, you reign supreme in the art of war, right? And the art of war includes dialogue. So that I understand that, but I don't think this man, his concept is very warped to me. His concept of the art of war, as far as dialogue and personal exchanges with verbal communication, verbal war, if you want to call that, it's chatty patty. And I have said that before. Your art of war is now a scapegoat, an excuse, the setting up of a logic to use as an excuse to evade responsibility of a loss by saying that they are out to, somebody is out to get you. I just can't make this stuff up, you guys. You just can't make this stuff up. This man is weaving in, threading in, a nice cozy excuse for him to wrap around himself as a cloak and use as a guise, to cover, the possibility that a loss may be on the way. What is going on, you guys? Who in their right minds, who is preparing for, supposedly the biggest war on the biggest showing and the biggest stage of their career? What warrior mindset is going to walk in talking about being poisoned or making some type of random lame ass complaint about some contrived conspiracy? What? I mean, the last person that I heard do this was goddamn Sassy Daddy Schofield, where he talked about they rubbed my son's body down with lotion. They rubbed my son with lotion. That's the last time I heard that shit. But you got to be on the sassy time to do that. I'm quite astonished. Like, I know that Norman talking shit, but I was very astonished to hear that he went to that level to make such a sassy ass goddamn claim as that. Who the fuck is going to conspire against your ass? What? And how is this man being allowed to live? Making such a stupid ass claim like that. Like, he should be getting absolutely obliterated all across boxing YouTube right now for having made such a sassy ass goddamn soft ass motherfucking, comment like that. What is going on? Oh, they might try to get me, y'all. Keep your eyes peeled now. You're here. They're going to try to get me. I hope I come out safely now. What? This man says something to the degree of, let's hope we get there. Let's hope we make it out healthy. Hopefully we get to the fight in one piece. It's just absolutely appalling to me on every level. If that's not the most cowardly, it's just desperate attempt that you can make. It's weird. It has no place on the battlefield. That is not war talk. But for some reason, he thinks that this is like, I don't know, like my sis Bella said, maybe he thinks he's trying to get into the minds of, Bill Haney. I don't know. Maybe he thinks, I don't know what this man thinks. There's nothing boss about that. You're not on boss time talk about, oh, they're going to try to slip me a Mickey. You know what I mean? Not that it hasn't happened, of course, in boxing, in boxing or whatever. We've seen all types of crazy stuff happen in the history of boxing and stuff like that. But when you're preparing for war, why the fuck is that on your mind? You talk about that after the fact, if that's something that you experienced or whatever have you. Going into a war, you're not thinking about that. You need to be thinking about how you're going to catch that prey. You need to be thinking about cooking that food. I'm going to cook you. That's the only thing on my goddamn mind. I'm not looking for no goddamn way out. I'm trying to stand in the center. I don't think about no way out on the way to war. What the fuck is this man doing? Oh, they're going to try to get me out of there now. You're here. Hopefully we make it out safely. Just hope we get out or get there in one piece. I mean, it's diabolical. This man just goes around from platform to platform to platform, ladies and gentlemen, spewing the most ineffectual, aimless excuses that you can think of. That is not war talk to me. I'd much rather him go platform hopping, talking that talk that I like to hear. How many times have I said that? Countless times. If you're going to do your, you know what I'm saying? Talk your shit. You know what I mean? Tell me why you're the best. Tell me why you got the strap. Oh, I'm the champ. Yeah, he's in new territory. I'm going to take him into deep waters. He think it's going to be easy over here. Yeah, I'm going to show him how deep it get at 147. I'm going to make him think twice. He may have to haul ass and turn around back and go to 135. You know what I'm saying? Talk like that or something like that. Don't be up here talking about, oh, well, hopefully we got equal playing field. Excuse me? So that the unreadiness is making its way absolutely to the forefront, and it's making him look like the novice instead of the champion. This is the motherfucker with the belt. This is the nigga that was saying, oh, well, we got the belt. We got the belt. You know what I'm saying? He was posturing that. Why the fuck is he acting, like a novice out here? Why is Team Norman acting like a bunch of novices out here? Because that's what the excuses are making them look like. It's crazy work to me. So that now, all of a sudden in his mind, Turkey is premeditating a way, to see to it that your success is going to somehow be thwarted. That's what's on your mind in a lead up to the biggest war of your life, where you got to show and prove in a way that you've never done so previously. That's what's on your mind. That's crazy work to me, you guys. Oh, they may be looking for a way to conspire against this man's victory come Saturday. I mean, you really just can't make this stuff up. Unless, of course, you have nothing else better to do, which I guess is the case as far as Senior is concerned, with the thing that this man, thinks up in his mind, right? he's diabolical to me, and it's hilarious, sitting back and watching him. It's like, okay, I don't know if it's because maybe, he's adjusting to this newfound attention and he's like trying things out. I don't know, right? I guess you got to start somewhere with the trash talking and with, whatever it is that you're trying to do when you are building up, your fighter, your son and stuff like that. So that maybe this is a trial and error. Maybe I can give him a pass after this fight is concluded. You know what I'm saying? For the, give him an E for effort, but hopefully he gets better along the way. He got to sharpen his shit talking. I mean, he do some shit talking now. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like, he gotta do some trial and error. There's some shit that he's been doing that he needs to absolutely X off the list and never do again. Because it comes off as absurd. You know what I mean? And when you talk into the boxing world like this, people are looking into what you say. You know what I mean? They're looking into what you say. So you want to make sure that you step in, tough, you step in heavy with it. Don't come out here with some, imbecility or some inanity. If you're going to talk, have some weight and have some leverage in what it is that you are saying. That's why I was saying that he should have focused on, the qualities and attributes of his son, of his team, and the belief, in why his team, are the superior fighters and why they will show, improve, and absolutely dominate on the 22nd. All this other shit is crazy to me, you guys. It has him looking wild. You know what I mean? Worse yet is that it doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. Motherfucker went further. And I know y'all like, damn, he can go further than that. Absolutely. Now, this man over the past week or so, had also posited that he may just have to be on a possible lookout for scorecard fraud. Scorecard fraud. Right? He alluded to that. Oh, let's get a fair shake now. We know that Devin is the favorite over there. We know that's Turkey's guy. Don't that ring a bell? Didn't we hear the same bullshit echoed by another motherfucker with no sense by the name of Purple Pain goddamn Davis, Red Light Special Davis? Here the fuck we go again, right? Oh, give us a fair shake because we know that's Turkey's guy. We just may have, a situation where we find ourselves, cheated or something like that because, he's in cahoots with Turkey or whatever have you. This is what this man has also alluded to on an interview, you guys. Obviously playing on the folly that, of course, not only Purple Pain Davis, but of course, a lot of his man fans and just the man fans, the aimless man fans in general in boxing, the fucking sassy motherfucking crusaders out here that are just looking for a bandwagon to ride now that Tank Davis absolutely blundered his career and his credibility. They are just looking for the next thing to ride because we know they like to get their ride on. And I'm not saying pause to that. Yeah, I'm talking about they're looking for the next thing to ride, right? So, now they're drummed up, they drummed up this whole entire scenario, saying that because the young king, of course, has a close business relationship with Turkey, that this is somehow the thing that is going to incite Turkey to play favorites and hence cause them to be cheated on behalf of Dev. It's just the most childish, juvenile thing ever. And it's crazy work to me that this stuff goes on in boxing because in no other sport do you see things like this, ladies and gentlemen. The athletes just get there, go to work. They have to be their best. They got to show, improve, and get the fuck stepping and do their biggest one. Or if not, do their biggest one. If they come up short, try again in the next game. It's not about the fucking tabloid chatty patty shit. Why the fuck is there so much chatty patty energy in boxing? I really don't get it. It's diabolical to me. Bunch of fucking schoolgirls just sitting around chit-chatting all goddamn day, making shit up all goddamn day left and right. That's the part of this shit that just makes it disgusting to me. I would like to cut all of that shit out and get to the art of war so that I can enjoy some battling. That's what I am here for. I'm not here for the chatty patty shit. I don't fucking chatty patty in my own goddamn life. What the fuck I want to sit around watching some grown ass men chatty pattying back and goddamn forth all day? Are we going to war or not? Oh, child, that shit gets me hyped and livid. It gets me livid. I don't like it. I don't like it. There's way too much of that going on in boxing. Oh, yeah, you're his favorite. No, you're his favorite. So he's going to cheat for you. Like a bunch of fucking middle school girls. Pointlessness. Moreover, does this sound like a man who is confident in securing a victory, ladies and gentlemen? Making up all of these, falsehoods about who's conspiring here and who's conspiring there against you? Does that sound like a man who's confident in securing victory or not? Does that sound like a man who's prepared to go life and death in battle or not? Not to me. Not to me. His energy is scattered. That don't sound like warriorship to me. It sounds pussy, real talk. And I didn't really want to, I'm sorry, but I really want to go there. But you know what I mean? I just got to call it like the fuck it is. That sounded like some push shit to me. Your mind needs to be on battle. Your mind needs to be on victory. Why are you over here accusing motherfuckers for doing shit that is not even a reality? Where is your focus? Like I said, I want these people to be 1,000% focused. They need to be 10 toes in this thing because I want to see a wonderful showing from two beautiful brothers. I don't want to be robbed of that. Yes, I am DHP all day. Devin Haney over everybody. 1,000%. But I support both brothers because it takes two to tango and I respect warriorship at its highest. I don't want no goddamn half-stepping. So that my pressure is coming because I want them to be, I don't want no goddamn distractions. I don't want you focusing on, some fucking gossip. I want you 10 toes in the center of that battlefield, ready. And I want to see you make yourself, just like I want to see the young king prove himself and make himself. I don't want no goddamn half-stepping. I think all of this other shit is just, I think they want to galvanize the interest, but it's like I said, Chatty Patty isn't anything of substance. It's not substantive, beautiful people. It's not substantive at all. I think that it's taking away from even more severity and heat that could generate interest, real heart, real soul, real interest in this fight. The Chatty Patty shit, maybe it serves, 5-minute distraction for some people who like that tabloid, sassy ass energy and stuff like that. But the heart is not being fed of this fight with that type of stuff. I think he would have done better, to really, really, really invest wholly in the heart and soul of this fight. You know what I mean? By really, really talking that shit. Gossip it doesn't feed anything but a juvenile mind. It only feeds juvenility, in my view. And I don't approach boxing looking for, juvenility. There's nothing juvenile or, I don't look for inanity in anything, let alone warriorship. You know what I mean? That's just how I'm stepping. It's heavy and it is what it is because I like it heavy like that. You know what I mean? I just want to see that. I want to see ironclad energy. I want to see ironclad warriorship. And especially you can't be talking all this sassy shit about, oh, they may get me, y'all. They could, I know he's his favorite. You can't be saying sassy ass shit like that. And meanwhile, you got the young lion Brian Norman trying to talk his talk on the face-off, for example, against Devin. Did y'all see the face-off that was released? Oh, yeah. He was trying to sell Devin. Yeah, you think you can stand in the pocket with me? Go ahead and stand in the pocket with me. Go ahead. If you think you can stand in the pocket with me, go ahead. Right? This is the young lion Norman Jr. talking to the King Devin like this. How is he talking like that and a fucking father over here, saying some sassy shit? Like, oh, they're his favorite. It does not bode well, brothers and sisters, to the ears and to the senses, not to me. It just doesn't. How is all this bravado being shown on one end while on the other end, you talking like you shaking in your goddamn boots, out here alleging all types of conspiracies are going to be made and had against you. The fuck? The logic is not logic in there for me, brothers and sisters. That does not sound very confident to me, brothers and sisters. Not only does it sound absolutely paranoid, you know what I mean? It's setting up for an excuse and an alibi at the end of the day. Should you not be able to swim in deep waters with the young king? It's like, if you're not able to swim in deep waters with the young king, let it be that. But have that experience knowing that you did your best, because that's where iron can sharpen iron. If you got a motherfucking alibi and excuse, how the fuck are you supposed to learn the lesson and get better? You cannot protect yourself from your lessons. Your lessons shape you. So if you already have an excuse made, that means you're not prepared to learn nothing, which means you could never be great. So that, let's say if he does lose, let's say if Brian Norman does come up short, your effort is where your greatness lies in, because you can then use that experience to do better and to climb higher next time, because you weren't afraid to pass through fire. If you already jumping and flinching from the fucking smoke, how the fuck are you supposed to be great? That's just how I see things, brothers and sisters. That's why I don't like the whole, these alibis and these cop-outs and excuses that I have been hearing, being made slyly and covertly within these particular interviews that I saw the clips of, and him making these statements. It's diabolical, and it shows the juvenility of the mentality, and like I said, an unreadiness and an unfitness. And it's making me question the overall fitness and alacrity that he has towards, or that they have towards, performing and being at the forefront on the highest level, of course, the way that they will be on Saturday. It's making me question their alacritousness, their readiness. You know what I mean? It's interesting work to me. So that, I think in addition to all of that, brothers and sisters, during the lead up to this fight, if I could also posit this, is that I found to be interesting for sure, is, how can I say this? So that you have the Norman side, right? But then, I think I would be remiss to not bring up the aspect of the ever evasive lore, not only being generated and pushed forth by Norman Sr., but just the overall lore of these Johnny-come-lately Norman fans that love peddling all types of folly about Devin Haney across social media. They just love peddling all types of nonsensical things surrounding Devin Haney. And much of this, like I said, is the bait that Norman Sr. and Brian Jr. himself, have been spewing around, in the various interviews that I've seen them on, all, ever since the fight, or I should say not ever since the fight was announced, because they was cool initially, but ever since that whole, scandal began with the drug testing and all of that, they switched the time that they were on. In my view, that's when the energy kind of shifted from, kind of like a general respect to them taking the avenue at taking these low blow, childish shots, making, scoffing comments, riding old narratives, that the boxing world had put out about Devin, and just, deciding to run and ride that particular type of train. But in addition to that, good people, it's still going on. There is still the wave of that lore being passed around by the man fans, particularly now as well, that I wanted to speak of. And that narrative, of course, consists of these people having, I don't know what the fuck it is, y'all. It's like this, it's an incessant, and I've spoken about this in the past, it's an incessant fetish that these man fans, who just are just so adamant about witnessing, about beholding, about being satiated by, the image of Devin Haney being compromised in some way. They wait for it. They dream about it. It's a fantasy for these people. They have fetishized in their minds. You know, they are hoping and wishing on a star and on a prayer, ladies and gentlemen, for the downfall of the young King Devin. Okay, and so that they are incessant in their and with their fetish, with the idea that the young King Devin is compromised as a fighter. Not only do they want to hold on to the image of it that that they got in the past with the whole Ryan fight, right? But they want to assume that going into this Brian Norman fight, because of that Ryan fight, that he is compromised as a fighter. That somehow Devin is holding on by a thread to his sanity and to his overall fitness as a fighter. He's holding on to it by a thread. He's barely holding it together as a fighter, y'all. This is what these people think. It's the mentality of these people. Oh, Devin is so fragile. You know, Devin was, compromised in the last fight. He could barely stand on his own legs. He was shaking. Did you see him in the fight against Ramirez? That proves that he is not, the fighter that he once was. He's half the man. He's a shell of himself. Right? They need to feel that Devin Haney cannot, he is unfit, ill-equipped to survive as a fighter. I just thought, the logic is crazy to me, you guys. And it really is rampant. It really is rampant across social media. There are people out here really wanting to believe that and really wanting to push and peddle that. It's wild work. These people are out here like motherfucking Jehovah Witnesses, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to push this shit to every corner of the motherfucking block that they can get it to. They knocking on niggas' doors at 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday mornings, trying to push this shit. They handing out motherfucking pamphlets. Like they are really going to work, y'all, trying to push this shit out to the masses. Like, yo, Devin Haney, he was scared against Ramirez. He didn't want to get hit. Did you see Ramirez? He was scared to get hit by Ramirez that last fight. Devin Haney ain't no good now. Out here like motherfucking Jehovah's Witnesses. Crazy work. Door to door, asking you to become a believer in the bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. It's wild work out here, the work that these people have been putting in nonstop. Of course, ever since the whole scandal took place with, in the aftermath of the Ryan fight, but definitely they are gun-ho with it now. Absolutely ardent about convincing the boxing world, that Devin Haney is unfit and unable, to pull out a victory in anything that he does in the ring, right? Niggas going around on any soapbox that will entertain them, pretty much, trying to say Devin is irreparable after the fight with racist Riri. Right? Year and a half they've been pushing this, and they are certainly ardent about it now. This fight coming up, they want to believe that, they have to believe that. And so they are endlessly using that talking point. I mean, it's so overused. Every time I hear it, it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy that they are still on a hope and a prayer using this, drummed up, crazy ass, false, story. It's crazy to me. Anybody who's going to give them the attention, they will go and talk this nonsense, on that particular platform. It's absolutely befuddling to me, that these people are walking around with this ill logic, with this need to induce themselves, like I said in the preface, to believe this type of stuff about Devin Haney. It is a need, ladies and gentlemen. They need to feel that Devin Haney is irreparable. It's a need. It's an obsession as well. Okay? Oh, he was put down in the Ryan Garcia fight. How could he have recovered from that? Yeah, it was a year and a half ago, but how could he ever, Devin never recovered from that fight. He has PTSD. I mean, you'd be astounded by the things these people are saying across social media, ladies and gentlemen. Never mind the fact that Devin beat Ryan's ass in pretty much every round that he wasn't knocked down in. Never mind the fact that he finished on his feet, as we all say from time and time again. Finished on his feet against an overweight, drug-cheating coward who couldn't dare or bear to get in the ring with him on equal terms. Never mind that. It is the image that Devin Haney was put on a canvas that they are salivating over to this day, which is insidious work. That's the fetishizing I'm talking about. Okay? This is precisely what these fools are holding on to. This is what the mindset entails, right? And so that mindset also pushes the need to dissuade from the reality that Devin Haney was not knocked out in that fight, that Devin Haney is a year or a little over a year and a half removed from that fight, has had a victory after that fight, a 12-0 shutout after that particular fight, and is ready to fight the number one at welterweight, a champion. Never mind that. They want to hold on to him being violated by a drug cheat, an overweight drug cheating pussy. They have to believe that Devin Haney is afraid. What the fuck is he afraid of calling the name of Boots Ennis, ladies and gentlemen? You tell me when he was afraid, when he was calling the name of Shakur Stevenson. When was he afraid? When he put Tank Davis on that hit list and say, you ain't going no goddamn where. I still am gunning for you. What the fuck is Devin scared of? What is this fear that Devin Haney has? How is he compromised when the only thing this man is exemplifying is that he is willing and ready at any time to get that smoke, to get it popping with the best? Scared of what? Scared of what? Anybody who posits that that man is scared is a pussy themselves. That's why you don't understand the type of time this young man is on. You gotta be some type of chump, some sassy ass motherfucker to say some shit like that about this young king and how he is moving. Because he is just about the only one of his contemporaries that is moving this way and stepping in a line, to supersede even his own accomplishments. Creating his own lane. It's diabolical to me when I think about that, you guys. With these fucking sassy ass man fans, there is an imperative that they have, that they not acknowledge the major factors that were involved in that particular fight with racist Riri and his drug cheating and overweight, coming to the ring overweight in that particular fight. There is a need for them to dissuade from that, right? For them, it's all about relishing in the imagery presented of Devin touching the canvas in that fight, of being cheated in that particular type of fight. They don't care how he held his own. They don't care how he bounced back with the Ramirez fight. And they don't care how he's stepping to the champion of the welterweight goddamn division. They need to be blinded to that. It's crazy. It really is a dement. It's a level of dement that is undeniable to me when I look at it, real talk. Like, these people are really out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking fucked up in the brain. Like, I'm like, y'all, are y'all good? Because y'all motherfucking can't be with that type of delusion going on. Still holding on to a fantasy of that imagery in their minds. They like the idea of Devin being compromised, and in fact, they wish that he will be on Saturday against Brian Norman. They want it. They would like to see it. This is the host of the Johnny-come-lately Norman fans that have attached themselves to him. It is to hope that he will provide them the satisfaction of compromising Devin. That's something that they want to see, right? And so, I think it's because it allows for the belief, ladies and gentlemen. It allows for the belief in them to assume that Devin Haney is not the elite warrior that he showcases himself to be. It is to, induce a belief in them that he is not at the top of the sport the way that we know he is. That's what the fantasy allows them to delude themselves with. It allows them to circumvent also the fact that Devin Haney is the most premier young athlete in the entire sport right now. Yeah, that part. It allows them to negate that. It allows them to, deny the fact that his moves not only express his desire to carry the sport forward by making the best fights possible in his era, but it also allows them to deny the fact that they know he wants to claim this era and mark it as his own. After Terrence Crawford exits, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Devin Haney era. That is what he is trying to assume and amass for himself. Yes, that is what he is on track to do. That is his aim and objective. And these people have a problem with that. For whatever reason. It is this young brother that they do not want to see be supreme in this sport, and it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Who is better fit to do that? And if anybody else is better fit to do that, it is what it is as well. But as long as it's a brother on top, what the fuck is there really to complain about, brothers and sisters? As long as we are continuing on a line of black excellence in this sport, what really is the problem that these people have? No one seems to be able to explicate that amid the people who have all of these fucking complaints and ill wishes towards this young king. It's wild work to me. His track record speaks for itself that he is in line to take the sport over in one way or another. Diabolical work, because that very track record also puts people way older than him to shame, or not to shame, but I should say rather into analysis and speculation and critique. Only 26 years old, and his resume, can stand toe-to-toe with some people who've been doing this longer than him, way older than him. That's something to look at. That's something to be proud of. That's something to uphold. That isn't something to detract from or wish the demise of. Who are these people that they say, they love boxing, talking that crazy talk like that? Moreover, a lot of these man fans are really, operating on a hope and a prayer, real talk, as far as Brian Norman is concerned. And I say that not because, Brian Norman has zero opportunity or probability of winning the fight on Saturday. I'm not saying that, these people are on a hope and a prayer for that reason. No, it is not because he has zero chance of winning. That is not the case, okay? I say that because these sassy fucking crusaders out here largely have no concept even of what the fuck Norman's boxing history even entails outside of hacky sacky. That's why I'm saying that. They don't even know this man's body of work. A lot of them do not even know the boxing style of Brian Norman Jr., as the beautiful King BFTB broke down so thoroughly, so wonderfully in his previous live the other day, talking about the styles and what each fighter brings to the table, and breaking down what styles mean and the attributes that are attributed to these particular types of styles. A lot of these people cannot even say what Brian brings to the table as far as attributes outside of his alleged power. Which is crazy to me. There are even a few people out here as of late running around here talking about, people like Santillan. Talk about, Santillan, he fought Santillan, so that they are trying to mystify the reality of Brian Norman's resume and boxing history. Now they want to big up, people on his resume that they didn't even know fucking existed prior to this hacky sacky victory that he had in June. Who the fuck was calling for Santillan and making Santillan to be out like he's some fucking Brett Crawford or something like that? All of a sudden, you guys want to back Norman to fight, and now you want to call random niggas out on his resume like they fucking Floyd Mayweather. These pussies are crazy. It's a sassy ass energy. People talk about, oh, Santillan, you know, he beat Boots. Santillan is better than Lomachenko. He better than goddamn, you know, George Kambosos. He beat all of Devin's, you know, prior opponents. It's just absolutely diabolical, the things that these people are doing mentally to cope or to assume, or to, I should say, assuage, really, their own insecurities that they would absolutely have if Brian Norman is not successful on Friday. They are trying to provide as much padding for their mentality, for their frail, weak mentality as possible, by deluding themselves about Brian Norman's resume. He got a thin fucking resume. It is what the fuck it is, ladies and gentlemen. The beautiful King BF already broke that down. Champ Side already, followed suit and also did his own reconnaissance and inspection of that man's resume over the past week, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to add anything. We don't need to mystify anything. The proof is in the fucking pudding. Do a quick Google search and look for yourself on BoxRec. Do your own inspection and reconnaissance. This is not to defame that man. We are looking at the reality, at what the facts say. And as boxing fans, that's what we should be doing. We should be, being intelligent about the fighters that we are watching, that the fighters that we support. And we should be making our own deductions and conclusions. Okay? And it's not to say that you cannot beat the odds, because we've seen that done time and time again. This is boxing, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't fucking double dutch. Anything is liable to happen. Of course, you can't supersede your odds. Okay? But the facts remain. And it isn't anything of, to castigate or berate a person by looking at the history that they bring to the table with them, to the battlefield. I think that's what every intelligent, upright boxing supporter should be doing. Do that type of study and that type of research. But see, the problem is that these people, largely in the boxing world, a lot of even these platforms, want to incite people into mindlessness. They do not want you to do your research. They do not want you asking questions. They don't want you doing any level of reconnaissance, whatever. They want you to sit down, shut the fuck up, and be a fan. They want to instruct you. They don't want you to use your mind. No, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to look at that resume. I'm going to see, how many losses, a previous opponent had. I'm going to see if that person was a champion previously. I'm going to see if that person that was your opponent previously has fought on a high level stage. I'm going to look at all the qualifications. All of the means of stature that you bring, because that's how I base my analysis and the accreditation that I stand to give you and validate you through as a fighter. You can't supersede your resume just because I like you, nigga. Your body of work speaks for you. I know you because of your body of work. That's what warriorship is. You don't just get the title just because you walk in the door and I like the way you talk and I like your motherfucking hairstyle or your motherfucking shoes or the new car you driving, motherfucker. That does not impress me. What did you do on a battlefield? What heart did you display? Even if there were moments where you came up short. I hardly even give a fuck about that. Have you fought among the elite or the highly ranked, the generally regarded? Do you have heart? Are you willing to step up and show a level of warriorship? And to that point, I could say at this particular juncture, yes, the young lion Brian Norman, even despite his resume, has at least decided to answer the call to face somebody so stellar as Devin Haney. He took the call. And I give him that respect for that. And that's why I'm expecting him to show up as his best self. For the reason why I went on into getting into how I do not like the sense of unreadiness that I'm picking up, or that I have been picking up, from Team Norman, or at least their approach that they had shown up until this particular point. You understand? I don't need to be deluded. I just want to see the best of you as a warrior. I want to see you bring your best. So that the delusion that I am seeing is such that people out here want to say that Norman, they're drumming up a whole bunch of, crazy things mentally. They're saying that now Norman is the most athletic fighter that Devin Haney has ever faced. Have you guys come across that? That's going around. He's the most, athletic fighter that Devin Haney has faced. Excuse me? When the fuck did that happen? Now Norman Jr. is the most athletic fighter that Devin Haney has faced. In what motherfucking dimension is this, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not privy to this. I'm not privy to that information. I was on Champside's panel earlier in the week, brothers and sisters, and I had mentioned the idea that a lot of these man fans are desperately needing to augment and amplify the attributes of Brian Norman Jr. I'm not saying that this man is, some worthless piece of shit that belongs in the sewer. But these people are trying to augment and modify his qualifications and attributes as a fighter, which is diabolical to me. Why the fuck do you need to do that, first of all, if you believe in him the way you say you do? Does that make sense? You riding for this very fighter that you say you believe in and that's going to go ahead and go do the business and put Devin Haney's goddamn lights out. This is according to these fucking ass man fans. If you feel that strongly and that ardently about that and believe that wholeheartedly, why the fuck are you trying to augment attributes onto this man? You don't have to delude yourself by making up fucking lies just to support this dude. If you fucking believe in him, you believe in him. Show up 10 toes with your support and watch him go ahead and try to secure this victory for himself as a supporter. You don't need to lie about the tools that he's bringing. That's inadvertently saying, or actually blatantly saying, that you don't even believe in what the fuck skills he actually has. Facts or no, ladies and gentlemen? Why do you need to delude yourself to support this dude, is the question, in other words. And for a lot of these people, I guess they caught on, possibly to the notion somewhat, about how thoroughly absurd they have been sounding over these past several weeks about blatantly exalting the one attribute that they have blazed consistently, right? And that is, his alleged power, quote unquote. That's the one attribute that they have all been pushing to the forefront and exalting over and over again, so that now, since they have been called out for that singular aspect that they have been praising of Brian Norman by real boxing enthusiasts, people out here who have been making their own deductions and doing their juxtapositions, about the styles and telling you what the difference of style, is, a slugger, a brawler, a master boxer, pure boxer, whatever it is that you want to call it, and how those things fare up together traditionally in boxing, right? Now these people have been put on the spotlight about only satiating the power dynamic that Brian Norman allegedly brings to the table, so that now they suddenly want to acclaim Brian Norman Jr. for this, imaginary athleticism that he just fucking built up overnight. This imaginary fucking footwork that he just mastered overnight. This, whimsical, magical ass, mythical punch placement that he is coming with that is so accurate and beyond the norm in boxing. This athleticism, what is going on? You don't need to lie to call him a good fighter or to think that he is a good fighter. When have these people ever seen Norman Jr. fighting on the back foot successfully? When has he exemplified a level of footwork that stultified an opponent in front of him, ladies and gentlemen? I have not seen it. I have not seen it. When have we seen him, with his lateral movement and being able to keep his head off the goddamn line? These attributes are just fucking, trumped up. These people are in their minds, turning Brian Norman into a figment of, an image of fucking Tommy Hearns or something like that. Sugar Ray. Like they are expertly curtailing the image of this man's reality and writing in an entirely new script for this man's characteristics, which is diabolical to me. It's crazy to me. And it's inadvertently showing a lack of belief in this man's ability. They think it's a showing of support. They're actually disrespecting that young lion. It's disrespectful to the young lion, Norman, because you are not taking him as he is and being open to what his possibilities are. You are saying, oh, okay, well, he's already coming with all of this, as if it was showcased in his history. It has not been, ladies and gentlemen. And there is no shame in saying that, because perhaps what he has mastered so far will be enough to stand the test of time come Saturday. We just have to be ready to witness that, right? He can do that. Why can't he just do that and be victorious? You don't need to mythologize this man's level of experience. I cannot stress that enough. It's weird to me. Now, whatever skills this young man intends to bring on the ring is what it is. Like I said, we will be privy to that when we are, front and center and witnessing it. And it's something definitely to look forward to seeing, right? I hope he's sharp. Like I said, I want the best of him, just like I want the best of Dev, because I want a beautiful showcasing between beautiful brothers, okay? But what I do not need is the augmenting or compounding of some trumped up abilities, being attributed to this dude to make him into something that he's never showcased as a fighter, whatever. That's just crazy to me. That's as delusional as one can get to me. And that, unfortunately, is the state of the mentality of a lot of people out here calling themselves, fans of Brian Norman or just fans of boxing. They do not know that they are insulting him and his team. You know what I mean? And the dynamics that they naturally bring. Okay? Why do these man fans need to believe in a mirage, in an outright mirage, in order to support that young brother? That's not support at all to me. That's something that, I really just can't for the life of me fathom. It's crazy, and they don't know how weird and fucking sassy they sound in making these fucking weird-ass, wild-ass claims. Niggas talking about this jab that Brian Norman has mastered, I guess, in fucking 5 months. Oh, he's bringing a jab. He's gonna get, he's gonna out-jab Devin. It's just wild work to me, you guys. Oh, his timing is the best in the game all of a sudden. In a course of 5 months, ladies and gentlemen, all of a sudden he's the most elite combination puncher as well. I mean, you'd be astonished at some of the things I'm coming across. He's the most elite combination puncher. Now, Devin has to be, watchful of those wonderful, powerful ass, elite ass combination punches, because he is an elite combination puncher and a counter puncher. He's the best since Sugar Ray Leonard, y'all. This is what I'm hearing, y'all. No cap. No cap. You will be absolutely surprised, you guys. But this is what's going on. These are the dynamics that they are now augmenting on to the attributes of Brian. They're just assigning new attributes that never fucking existed before to this man, so that they can convince themselves that this is actually going to be, he's going to put on a hell of a show on Saturday. This is the delusion that I'm talking about, brothers and sisters. Okay? It's not to say that that man has never thrown a combination punch in his life, or that he has never, had a punch placement that knocked. We saw him knock whoever out on the button. We saw him, punch or whatever the fuck it is. But these people are talking about that he's just a, master fucking jabber. That he got one of the most beautiful jabs in the games now, apparently. Wild work, you guys. And then when you impose upon these particular people making these wild ass claims, when you impose upon them questions that, place them under fire and that expose things like, oh, okay, how slow we have seen Brian Norman react in a ring, right? When you do these types of deductions just on analysis of his tape, right? Things like, his lack of speed, things like how he tends to not have a lot of accuracy when he throws punches, because he swings wildly, as he showcased in the Hakisaki fight, right? Where he missed hella punches against Hakisaki, and Hakisaki was right there in front of him, and there was times when fucking Hakisaki caught his ass. As wild and unbalanced and offbeat and weird and lopsided as Saki was in that fucking fight, he caught the fuck out of Norman, you know what I'm saying, a few times. You know what I mean? When you start calling these little things out, you know, that's when you hear things like, oh, well, he doesn't need speed. They try to deflect now. Oh, well, Brian Norman does not need speed to beat Devin, though. Oh, you know, he does not need fast feet. Oh, you just watch what happens. Just let him land that one shot. You'll see what happens. Wake me up, you know, when he gets the knockout. These are the types of things, you guys. These are the types of things that are being said. Wake me up when he gets the knockout. He don't need to be fast. He don't need all of that. Just let him get that one boom right on the kisser against Devin. So it's like all the attributes that you fucking lying about, now you revert right back to the very power that you were fucking salivating over, and that obviously seems to be the only attribute worth a damn, according to you guys. It's not even according to me. Y'all motherfuckers told on yourself that all this nigga was bringing to the table was fucking power. Crazy work, you guys. Absolute crazy work. You know what I mean? These people are just like absolutely mind-blowing to me, you know, and the more you sit back and you gauge with, you know, some things that people say on Twitter, and even if you go across certain channels. I know my beautiful King BF has spoken over the past, few weeks to a lot of people, who have been riding with Brian Norman. Some of them have been, true supporters, or just interested in seeing if he could do what he does. And so they bring a level of genuine energy as far as their support for him. But then we also seen people across all types of platforms, obviously dick riding, you know what I mean? Johnny come lately ass fans, who are just, on a hope and a prayer about the demise of the career of Devin Haney. Just wishing on a star. Oh, well, maybe Brian Norman will do it. Ryan halfway did it. Maybe Brian will be our hope and our salvation. Looking ass niggas. It's crazy work. Absolute crazy work. I do not understand for the life of me how you could assume yourself to be, a boxing fan. Having a passion for the sport, having a level of respect for the warriorship that any fighter who steps into that ring exemplifies, and hold on to such a juvenile, baseless, infantile mentality. It's diabolical to me. Let me check in with the good family before we get out of here. Salute to everyone that I may have missed. I'll try to scroll up a little bit to see if I miss someone, but I won't hold you guys too long. Salute to the king. Trill Will in the building. He says, iron sharpens iron, and B. Norman ain't for nothing but cab drivers and tour dashers. I mean, and I know that that's a very jagged pill for people to swallow, like to phrase it that way. But the reality is that, one cannot bypass or be, in denial of the body of work that a fighter brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I want to see the best in Brian Norman. I am expecting him to show up as his best. I'm expecting him to have his training under his belt, to have a good corner that's ready to guide and lead him. You know what I'm saying? And, because I support the game, you know what I mean? But because I also support the game, that's why I appreciate my beautiful King BF and all of the people, in the boxing world who don't have a level of reticence when it comes to doing the actual research to look deeply, in their analysis about, the entirety of what a fighter brings to the table. And of course, there is nothing that supersedes that or that is more imperative than one's resume. You have to look at the body of work. And when we look at this man's body of work, we see what we see. You can't hide, who you fought, who you faced. You are your history up until that particular point. That does not mean that you do not have a future, that you do not have a potential, right? But then we have to be honest about what it is that you bring, right? Because you are a culmination of those things. And you bring that with you to the battlefield. You bring that with you everywhere as somebody who exemplifies a craft, who exhibits a craft or participates in their craft. You are your history, you know? And we have to be honest about that. I know that's a very, very sensitive point for a lot of people in looking at Norman's resume, simply because, when you gauge with that reality, you're going to say, damn, this motherfucker fought a nigga who fucking got 81 losses and was knocked out. Knocked out 51 times, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't have 51 fights. The man was knocked clean the fuck out 51 times, one of his opponents. One of his other opponents was, I think, fucking 7 and fucking, I don't even know what the fuck the resume was. But it really is interesting to gauge with that, right? So that before he started to get to, by the time he got to your Randalls and your Santillians or whatever, he was already well into his 20th something fight. Ladies and gentlemen, this man only has 28 fights right now. So that by the time he got up to his 20-something fight, that is when he fought. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, he just fucking fought Santillian and Randall yesterday. If we want to, speak comparatively. Who else among that body of work, was bringing any real level of competition and challenge to the table for that young man? Was it fucking Hashisaki? I mean, I know that knockout was glorified, ladies and gentlemen, but let's not forget, Hakisaki was fighting in a fucking, he was fighting in his own goddamn parking lot just the other day. Motherfucking fighting in the lobby of the Amtrak train station. You know what I mean? He fighting in front of a fucking food court at a mall some goddamn where. And this is real facts. And he got fucking knocked out. By the security guard he was fighting. What is going on? This is the man that Brian knocked out. This is the man that people are saying is a candidate for knockout of the year. He knocked out the nigga that just got fucking knocked out by the motherfucking the motherfucker that worked at the shoe store in the mall that he was in. It's crazy work, you guys. You know what I mean? But also, this is what makes the fight, I guess, a little bit more titillating, is because, he has amassed a mythology around him, Brian Norman, with that knockout. So we'll see. We'll see if it's all, smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? But it isn't a far cry, for us to look at that and say, well, bro, the body of work says that you were not able to exemplify this, among the likes of somebody like Devin, who has been on the world level at the highest level, since he was 20 years old? But I think the juxtaposition is very interesting. It's very interesting. There's a very deep contrast between these two men. And that's what both makes the fight very, very interesting and high stake, and also one-sided. It just depends on what angle it is that you're coming from. But what I do not believe, like I said, is that we need to be deluded about the reality of the experience level, and that's going to be a strong factor in this fight. You know what I mean? But shout out to both. Like I said, they're giving us a wonderful fight for boxing, and these are two young brothers coming together to literally put on one of the most talked about performances, if not the most talked about performance of the year. I can't wait for this fight. I'm just going through the comments, you guys. Salute to the Queen, Mama Tequila Fields in the building. Hey, Mama Love. Lovely to see you. All right, I'm just scrolling through, you guys. Give me a second. We had some people up in here that were salty, I see. Okay. It is what it is. Your opinion is your opinion. You know what I mean? We just talking boxing. Don't get in your feelings. Salute to the King, Blaze, pound for pound in the building. Infinite blessings. The twin says he knocks 6 weeks off a Japanese dude's life, and now he's Roy Jones and Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray fused into one. Child, I guess it just happened overnight, y'all. It happened overnight. You know, he took on the spirit of, you know what I'm saying, the great Muhammad Ali, motherfucking goddamn Joe Louis, you know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Deontay Wilder. He's Deontay Wilder's incarnate with the power. I mean, these people out here really, really, you know what I'm saying? That's what they believe. That's exactly what they believe. I think I got some super chats, ladies and gentlemen. Salute. Yes, I did. Salute to the king. Trill Will blessing the channel. Thank you so much for blessing the goddess with the support. I appreciate you, king. He says, good cook, queen. I can't wait to see Dev prove all these haters wrong yet again. Salute to B. Norman Jr., but I'm rocking with DHP. Infinite blessings to you, king. Thank you so much for your support. And big blessings to my twin with the love, as usual. 10 toes. Infinite blessings to my twin Daryl. He says, just leaving my usual color before you end the cook. Always great boxing discussion, twin. Thank you so much, king. I appreciate you very, very much. Yeah, you guys, I think I will end it there. Interesting stuff. Like I said, I'm just glad that we have finally entered Fight Week. It's a wonderful showing that we are going to have, in addition to all the young brothers that are going to be featured on this card. We got the Yard Benavidez, we got the Abdullah Mason and the Noakes, and we got Bam Rodriguez, and it's just a stacked card from head to toe. I'm really anticipating a statement to be made, okay, on all fronts as far as this card is concerned. I think we are in for a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful treat, you guys. I think I'll end it there for now. Thank you guys so much for joining me, you guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys each week, extending that love, extending that wonderful energy that you do. I love chopping it up with my good family. Infinite blessings to the King Daryl, the King Trill Will, my beautiful King BF2B, my Queen Mama Love Tequila Fields, Cameron, my beautiful sis, Bella, all the brothers and sisters today who joined, Eric, all the brothers and sisters, my king, Coach Hudson in the building, my #1 comrade. Infinite blessings to you guys and everyone else who joined. And I will see y'all on the next one. Hit the like button on your way out, y'all. Peace and blessings.